Right. Can you still?
Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Darwin Mariano. I am the founder and CEO of Ticket to Me. I am also the executive producer of Boys Lockdown. We are on emergency broadcast. We are on a live YouTube broadcast.
We definitely
I am
are.
with I am with Kaloy Tingkungko, who plays Martin Ilagan in the show Boys Lockdown. The reason why we're doing this emergency broadcast is to help raise funds and to call attention to those who may need help. Yung mga kailangan pa po ng tulong, pwede po baka makatulong kami sa Ticket to Me at sa Boys Lockdown. And unfortunately, the rest of the cast cannot join us yet. But before that, bago kami magkwentuhan ni Kaloy, I wanted to give Kaloy an opportunity to say hi and introduce himself. Kaloy?
Yep. Yeah. I just saw the tweet regarding our live. Anyway, hi everyone. Good afternoon for those who are currently watching and about to watch this once we have ended this. I'm Kaloy once again. Kaloy Tingkungko. I'm part of the Boys Lockdown cast. I'm here today with Sir Attorney Darwin Mariano, the founder and CEO of Ticket to Me and the executive producer of our show Boys Lockdown. So, as what you've said, we are live today to seek help for those who are in need and for those who are asking for donations in the middle of this typhoon. So, yeah.
So yun. Kaloy, bago tayo magpatuloy, may mga nagtatanong mo, bagong iyak ka daw ba?
Sorry.
Umiyak ka daw ba? Bagong
ko lang
iyak
ba?
ka daw ba? Kakaiyak mo lang daw ba?
Why, medyo red yung eyes ko. No, actually, ano lang to, allergic reaction, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the reason behind it.
Yes. So first is you will see in the ticker sa baba, we are working and helping the Kaya Natin movement for good governance and ethical leadership. Their bank account details are shown below. This is a BPI bank account number. So if you have some funds that you can spare, they have been at the forefront. The campaign is called Bangon, Luzon. If you want to learn more, you can go to their website called kayanatin.ph. This is a group that supports the Vice President Lenin Robredo is actually part of the group, and so is a number of people who have been helping tirelessly at the front lines to help those who have been affected by the recent typhoons. So that's why we wanted to do this. Yeah, go ahead, Kaloy.
Yeah, sorry. I did a little research before we went live about Kaya Natin. So there are actually a group of people who supports a non-profit and NGO group of people who are supporting those who are in need, Filipinos who are in need, are citizens, and they promote good governance as what's stated in their website, kayanatin.ph. So recently, they have also helped the people who are affected by Rolly PH, the one before Ulysses.
Yes. Actually, Kaloy, alam mo, natulungan namin sila nung unang nagkaroon ng lockdowns. Kaya Natin, together with Ticket to Me, we were able to raise mga around, at least from the Ticket to Me side, mga almost 18 million or around 18 million pesos for PPEs ng mga frontliners. So we have worked with these guys in the past, and we vouch for their integrity, we vouch for their love of country, we vouch for their hard work. Kaya nga, lalo na ngayon na hindi tayo makakapag na makikita nyo on screen na unfortunately because of the power and the internet connectivity issues, we opted to prioritize the safety and our production teams, families and loved ones first. They have to attend to their loved ones first. So we have moved our episode 5 to next Thursday, November 19. For the Ticket to Me web player, and then on Sunday, November 22 sa YouTube. So, Kaloy, bago tayo magpatuloy, yung papasalamat lang tayo dun sa mga nanonood sa atin. So I will say hi to them. I'm not sure if you can see you can probably see the chats and the comments, di ba?
On YouTube ba?
No. You can go to you can go to StreamYard, tas check mo yung comment side. Nakikita mo ba yung
Oh, there, not the private chat lang.
panel?
Okay, I see it.
Yes, yes. So yes. So Mark Godwin, Gabriel Luna. Hi, hello
Yes,
daw.
hi to them, yes.
Si Jury.
Jury's here as well. Yes. Hi, Darwin, Clemeno. Okay. Hope you guys are safe. Also, yan, Jury and Al.
Oh,
Those are
si
our
Buddy
boyfriend
Army.
supporters who are from overseas. Japan, I think, is Jury and Alice from Australia, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Hope you guys are safe.
So andito rin si Buddy, ex-Army Forever, Esther Garcia, Alina Motay, Roderick Pulas is here, Shano Sumyo, Mai Iaxels, I don't know how you say your name, I'm sorry. Visito Henson, hello, yes, please stay safe. Darwin Anthony Sale, Darwin Clemeno, pareho pa tayo ng Darwin. Hello, Darwin. So again, si Jury, si Christian B is there. Ticket to me, so I don't know kung sinong admin natin tong in charge ngayon dito. Not sure if it's the YouTube admin in charge. So si Al is there. Wait, ang dami. Michael Villadudlid, good afternoon. Yeah. You can help me greet them, Kaloy, the ones here.
Jay is here. Jay from International Reactors is also here. So hi, hope you're also safe there wherever you are, Jay. And someone's asking, are you all raising funds? Yes, we are. We are. Al, is it Al? Yeah, it's Al. Al, we're actually doing this live to promote and seek for donations for the people who are affected by the typhoon. Donations for Kaya Natin PH. That's a NGO nonprofit organization helping people, Filipino citizens, and supporting the campaigns and the programs of our VP Lenny Robredo. It's actually here on our screen right now below the moving text. So their VPI account number is here and their name. So if you have any extra money or you're feeling generous enough to donate for the affected people, please do so. It will be greatly appreciated. Whatever the amount is, we would be grateful for it. So yun, again, it's Kaya Natin PH movement for good governance and ethical leadership.
Below. So there are some details here below. So actually, I saw some of our fans also asking for help dahil kasi si Vice President asked for donations of rubberized boats. Dahil kasi marami mga local government units, kulang na yung rescue boats nila. So kung meron din daw, that might will go a long way to help those who are still very much stranded, are unable to leave homes that are already unsafe. So mag-a-apologize po ako sa lahat ng fans ng Boys Lockdown. Hindi ho ako usually nagpapakita. Alam nyo yan. But unfortunately, walang kasama si Kaloy dahil si Ali, si Alec po, I would Signa Crystal din as of our conversations kagabi, di ba Kaloy? Wala pa silang kuryente. So we are unable to ask the other members of the cast to join us. They're aware that we're doing this pero hindi pa sila maka-join dahil nga po wala rin, tulad nung marami po sa atin, wala pa pong kuryente. There is still no power at their respective homes. And of course, until that sort of is sorted out, what we've told them and what the production wants to do is for them to focus really on their safety, on the safety of their families and of their loved ones. Yeah. So I also want to say thank you. Yan. So Michael Valladolid, thank you. Dave Balbutin, J Pai, hello. John Huang, Christian B, don't need to know bro. Hi. Marzo Luisa, Algonza. Yan, thank you.
Darwin, Luis Angel Santos Perez from Mexico sent a comment. I'm from Mexico. How can I help? So, Luis, if you weren't here earlier when we were mentioning, it's on the screen. We're helping KN for good governance. You can send your donations there. Account number and account name, bank account name is on the screen. So,
yes. I will also put in the chat the website of Kaya Natin so that you can donate to them directly. they have a PayPal link in their page.
Oh
So if
yeah.
you have access to PayPal for international donations, you will be able to help. So Grace, Rial, Tiburcio, Alec and Ali, I miss them. Grace, we're very sorry. Sayang kasi si Alec and si Ali, they don't have power at home. So wala pang kuryente sa bahay nila, and therefore they've been unable to join us. So what we wanted to do is really just to make sure that people are aware that this storm, this typhoon actually caught us by surprise, di ba, Kaloy?
It
We
went
were
overnight. It happened overnight. Yes. And then this morning we were just surprised of the calamities brought about by this typhoon. People from all over Manila are just really affected, especially in Marikina. People, I live near Marikina City, so I know the situation there, and I know a lot of people who are residing that's been affected earlier this morning. And as of the moment, the rain has stopped, pero we are expecting more heavy downpour later this afternoon. So we cannot just we can't keep calm, and we just have to be ready pa din of what's next.
Yeah, correct. Kaloy, so kamusta dyan sa inyo? How was the rain last night? How would you describe what happened sa inyo? At least without, of course, revealing where exactly you live.
Well,
how was it?
I live in an elevated area, so flood was never an issue here in our place. So yung ulan, it was very hard last night, pero this morning started how do you call this? Started it weekend around 9 to 10 a.m. Pero before that was really raining really hard, cats and dogs as in. But as of now, it has tamed. As okay na yung weather. It's dark pero it's gloomy pero hindi naman siya the winds and the rain are in moderation.
Okay.
Kayo,
At least
sir,
okay
how
kayo.
about in your place?
Nawalan kami ng kuryente. My area is more center. So medyo nasa gitna kami of Metro Manila. Tapos kami din medyo elevated. I live in a condo, so flooding hindi masyadong problema. The bigger problem for us was the wind. So as you can imagine, 'di ba, malakas yung ulan tapos malakas yung hangin.
You can hear from outside even if you're in an elevated space.
Yes. So natatakot kami about baka may lumipad tapos tamaan yung windows. Of course, yung dogs ko, si Laksa was very scared. So
it's normal for them to be scared during this time.
So Laksa was very scared. So hindi halos nakatulog. Dahil hindi nakatulog yung dogs ko, hindi din kami nakatulog. Tapos we were worried about, diba? So it was really parang medyo scary. Ayaw mo na kapag biglang mag-fluctuate yung power, baka may mangyaring parang accident with electronics. Yung mga
You've been trying
ganun.
to push actually episode 5 last night. Was it last night when
Yes.
I read your message to push through despite of what's happening? Pero it's just not possible eh. We have to prioritize team safety, your team safety.
Yes, actually for the fans, so for the Boys Lockdown fans who are here, I'm sorry, we'll try to speak in English. Luis Angel Santos Perez, thank you. Kaloy, let's try to talk in English for the benefit of fans who are from abroad.
We're sorry, we weren't aware that.
It's okay. So what Kaloy was saying was up until 4 a.m. this morning, the post-production team was still trying to get the episode ready.
Yes.
Unfortunately, by 4 a.m., our editors, our color gradists, our sound designers, all of them started losing power one by one.
Mm-hmm.
And there are certain things that cannot be done remotely. So and when they started losing power, we started losing internet connections. So that effectively made it very, very difficult for us to get the final output done, to get the interlock version of the episode made. Not to mention, of course, yes, And not to mention, of course, people were worried about their families. They were worried about their own homes. They were worried about the danger that the typhoon would create or cause if the rains continued and if flooding started to happen. You would have seen from the news, that's not our expertise. There are plenty of news reports out there now that tell you what's happening to the Philippines, particularly Greater Metro Manila and the Bicol region and many parts of Luzon. So it's been really, really tough. So one of the things that we wanted to do was really just to raise awareness for what's happening. And then I know that a lot of you love the show. A lot of you are big fans of Kaloy. So I told the cast, whoever has decent power and decent internet connection, let's go live. Let's talk to people. Just really make sure that we are able to communicate whatever it is that. So if any of the Ticket to Me fans or the Boys Lockdown fans need help, if you guys are stranded in any way, please post them. We will try our best to make sure that if you need rescue, we will relay that to the appropriate authorities if you're unable to ask for help yourselves. But also, what we wanted to do was to really raise awareness for where you can help. Assuming you are in a position to help, I will vouch personally for the Kaya Natin movement for good governance and ethical leadership. This is a group that I have worked with for a long time. As we mentioned, this is a group that is supported by and works closely with the Office of Vice President Lenny Robredo. We helped them raise money for frontliners when the ECQ was first imposed, when the lockdowns were first imposed in Manila and in the country in March and April. So what we wanted to do is to just really give people an opportunity to help. So you would see in the ticker now, that is the local Philippine bank account of the Kaya Natin movement for good governance and ethical leadership. If you have some funds, please help them. Also, I posted here, the Ticket to Me admins on YouTube are regularly posting their PayPal links. So for international fans, if you want to help out those who have been terribly affected by the typhoons, this is, I think, the third typhoon, Kaloy, right?
Of this year, yes, but this is the greatest so far. Aside from Rolly, who was just passed, Ulysses is the next big typhoon for the Philippines this year, 2020.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's shift topics, Kaloy. So I will ask you naman. So in between.
Sorry, one more thing, Darwin. I just want to announce this one from Kaya Natin. They tweeted as of 9 a.m. If you guys haven't, this is the NGO we're trying to promote and announce in this live stream. So as of 9 a.m., they have tweeted Bangon Luzon relief drive for typhoon victims of Ulysses. They have already raised is the word. They have already raised total amount of donations of 6,527,000 as of 9 a.m. of today. And I've seen some people commenting here. They're asking if they can pay through different means. In their PubMat, they have mentioned they can also accept donations via PayPal. So that's kayanatin.ph /donate. You can see it in their website for all the details. Also, GCash and PayMaya, you can also transfer funds through that. And also Lazada and just Pay to app. That's it. Yeah. All right, sir. Yeah. Continue, Sir Darwin.
Yeah. Okay. So let's try and entertain people a bit. I mean, we've already said the numbers. We've already said that unfortunately, episode 5 is moving next week. So even if we wanted to premiere the episode tonight on YouTube, on Ticket to Me, and then on Sunday, we would have to move it for safety reasons. So Kaloy, so let me interview you now. So we want to. Okay. So for the benefit of your fans, or
Okay.
the ones
Let's
who
do this.
either like Kaloy or who like Martin's character in Boys Lockdown, what is your favorite episode so far and why?
So far, kasi we already had 4 episodes. And down to the last 2. From the 4 episodes, I would say personally, as Kaloy, I would pick episode 2. Why? Because most of us casts were actually seen there on episode 2. Not really. Well, most of the cast except for Luis, he had his scenes in episode 2 on. No no. In the what do you call this, preview for the following episode. So technically he's still part of episode 2. So in that episode, everybody in the cast were seen, and also I was able to do scenes with my co-actors, especially the one I'm closest with Crystal and Ali. We had the garage scene there. It was aired in that episode too, and during that scene we taped it as natural as possible. We didn't try to stick on the script alone, but actually put ourselves out in the scene and just be ourselves. Put some Kaloy in Martin and Crystal, Ali, to Dev and Key respectively. So we were just really having fun during that day, even if there were some. I don't know if I would say it's what do you call this, challenge, because it rained that day, diba? So kind of we're kind of behind the schedule, pero we were able to push it through. We were heard by the one from above, and he did stop the rain, and we continued with our taping. So for me, that is my most favorite episode so far, episode 2. What was that? Are you the one? Are you the one? Is that the are you the
Yeah,
one?
are you the one? Are you the one? Are you the
Yeah.
one? I think are you the
That's
one?
the title of the episode.
Nakita mo ba yung comment ni Direct Jade, Kaloy? He had a Twitter thread last night.
I saw it, pero
parang,
not everything. I wasn't able to dealt it with it kasi parang sabi ko, when I woke up this morning, that's when I saw it eh. When I woke up this morning. And then I saw also tweets about Ulysses, the Typhoon. So parang it wouldn't be not really nice. It wouldn't be relevant for me to engage on it yet. So might as well tweet about the what's currently urgent and what's happening. So yun muna yung nagdeal. But I was able to go through it, the tweets, not everything. But what were you saying ba, Sir Darwin? What specifically?
Paano kasi si Direct Jade was asked, he was asked na parang what are the most memorable improv or ad-libs? Tapos he mentioned 2. One was yung kay Luis, yung paano kasi nung nabangga ni Ali yung tent.
I remember.
Sabi
niya yung tent ko.
Yung tent ko. That was not in the script. So tawa kami ng tawa when he did that.
Funny.
The other one that he messaged, the other one that Direct Jade said was yours. Yung ano ba yung priority ko? Remember, wala sa script yun eh. When you said that in the garage sale scene.
I remember. Ano ba? How did it come out of my mouth? Parang I was just really being my character and trying to goof out the scene. And di ba kasi the rule is to not stop talking, to not stop acting while habang hindi sinasabi ni Direk yung cut.
Correct.
He hasn't still announced the word cut. So we were just keep on continuing doing our scene. Kaya I did an ad-lib and injected some words, some lines that would be able to relate with Martin. So yung line, bakit ano pa ba ang priority ko?
Ano ba ang priority ko?
Ano pa ba ang priority ko? Yun kasi parang I tried to relate it with the current line, with what's on the script. Tapos try to connect it na lang kasi the last line in the script I remember was sagot, yung the line of key, kayo talaga, sagot nyo dinner ko I cannot,
Correct.
I think it's on the script, right? So yun, parang from there, Dev and I'm sorry, Crystal and I had to improv and do ad libs of what we can do, what we can say to continue the scene. So yun, I came up with that out of nowhere, really.
Mm-mm. Yun. So yan. So again, I think so yun. So again, thank you sa mga, we're still here. So we will we're planning, Kaloy and I are planning to do this for at least 1 hour. So for everyone joining us, this will not be a marathon. What we are actually trying to do is I wanted to make sure na as soon as the others have power back on, we will go live again with the other members of the cast so that you can interact with them, so you can talk to them. Unfortunately lang ngayon, hindi pa sila, wala pa nga, as I mentioned at the start of this, the live stream, wala pang kuryente kina Ali, wala pang kuryente. There is still no power at Ali's house. There's still no power at Alex's house. Crystal also has no power. There's no electricity yet at their places. So it's not safe yet. And we told them that they should conserve phone battery or laptop battery power for more critical things. But Kaloy and I are lucky. We have power back at our homes, and therefore we decided to do this. So that just really several things. Number one, we can accompany all of you. We can accompany each other through this difficult time. I mean, as if it could not get worse. But also to be able to draw attention to the frontliners, the people who are actually doing a lot of work to help those who have been affected by the storm. So again, we call your attention to the Kaya Natin movement for good governance and ethical leadership. The KN movement, supported by likes of Vice President Leni Robredo, former Senator Kiko Pangilinan, former Senator Bam Aquino. So many more are there. So I also wanted to maybe say hi, Kaloy.
Hi, Laksa. How are you? Hope you're doing fine amidst this typhoon, amidst thunderstorms you've been hearing outside since last night.
So sorry, she was not able to sleep. So sorry about So she's not so energetic today. Not like in her scenes with Chen or with Kuya Alec. But she was scared kasi the whole time. So she was scared the whole night. She hardly slept. So if you can see, she's actually now just there. So that's how. So she's really. So anyway, so she's here with me. But yes, so she's also
will we see her on next episode? Laksa will still be there. Will she be there? No. Okay.
No more, I think. I'm not sure. Actually, I forgot.
We'll see on Thursday. Are we free to announce that we're seeing each other on? No.
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
Okay. Anyway, that's for them to look forward.
Yes. Actually, what is happening is, yes, we're very sorry. Wala po. There's not going to be a new episode tonight, and therefore there will be no new episode on Sunday. We really apologize for that. We will air. Garantisado po. We will premiere. We are moving the schedule by a week. So episode 5 will premiere on Thursday, November 19 on the Ticket to Me web player, and then on YouTube on November 22.
Yep.
So yes. Who is the guy on the right? Sorry, Sun Ice Drake. I don't usually show my face. My name is Darwin Mariano. I am the executive producer of Boys Lockdown.
I think
So
I
I'm
think
sorry you have to suffer through.
no. No, sir. I think he's referring to me kasi on the screen how
Okay.
but I
Okay.
think this guy knows you. Yung Son Ice Drake. I think he's not familiar with you,
Okay.
I think. Yeah, that's what I think.
Oh, okay. So Sun Ice Drake, the guy on the right is Kaloy. He
I'm
plays
part of the
Martin
cast
in
Son
voice.
Ice Drake. Yes. Mm-mm.
Yes. So yes. Okay. You're right. Sorry, not mine. Sorry.
The one on the right. Right. Mm-hmm. They
Yes, yes,
look like
yes,
this, diba? You're the one on the left.
yes, yes. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm not good with directions. Um.
Okay.
Yeah.
Else. So I'll just repeat the announcements for those who have just joined. So um, to everyone who has just joined this live, we're here this afternoon with Sir Darwin Mariano, the founder and CEO of of Ticket to Me and the executive producer of Boys Lockdown. And I'm here also with him, Kaloy. I'm playing a role in Boys Lockdown, the series. And we're currently here to do some few announcements. So first of all, Boys Lockdown episode 5 that was supposed to be aired, advanced screening was supposed to be aired tonight at 8 p.m. Would have to unfortunately be moved to next Thursday, next week, November 19. Still on Ticket to Me's website because of the recent happenings this day. And we would want the team, the post production team, to prioritize what's urgent and what's much more important for them, which is the safety of their selves and their families. So that's why we had to move and have it premiered on next Thursday. Next is we're also doing this live to create awareness and just to spread the word for those who can donate and have spare money to donate to help or for us to be able to help people who are greatly affected by the typhoon. We're supporting Kaya Natin movement. It's a NGO and nonprofit organization that helps and uh, what do you call this? Support those who are in need in times of in times like this. So their website is kayanatin.ph. You can check it. We'll retweet it later on Twitter so you can see and check it out. Also, they have Twitter account that's kayanatin.ph. And yeah, on the screen, you can see the bank account and bank name where you can donate your money. So any amount will do. It would be greatly appreciated. Yep. So
Correct,
there.
correct, correct. Kaloy, there is a message here. Uruha Gazette says, Kaloy, since I have this chance now, I really need to tell you, you really have a charming smile. Nice.
That's too sweet. Thank you. I haven't eaten lunch yet though. So I don't know
Yeah.
where the smile is coming from. Maybe from these people, these supportive people, that despite what's happening right now and Boys Lockdown episode 5 being moved to next week, they're still here supporting us. So yun, we really
So there's
appreciate you being here, joining us on this live, even if it's very short notice and it's just me who was able to join the live. Because unfortunately, the other cast cannot as of the moment because they have much more urgent things to prioritize other than this. So at least one from the cast and from the producer, which is Sir Darwin, can actually start a live and join and you know do special announcements for us that this is the least we could do for the frontliners that are currently out there sacrificing their time, their effort, their and putting their lives into risk for just to be able to help people who are greatly in need. So yun, we really appreciate it. Thank you for joining us and for those who are out there right now. We love you so much
yes,
and
yes. Kaloy, may tanong na sasagutin lang ako dito. So, sir,
yes.
from Jelach83. Sir Darwin, how was it working with Jade Castro? He's my favorite contemporary Filipino director. Nagustuhan daw niya yung LSS the movie, Endo and Remington. So, working with Jade it's such a pleasurable, fun experience. It helps that he has been my friend for a long time. So even before he became the respected film director that he is now, we have been friends. So when Ticket to Me decided that we were going to produce our first non-theatrical production, it was always going to be Jade. So, buti na nga nagustuhan niya yung project. Actually, if you read yung notes ko just before we premiered, um, when I asked him na I wanted to produce a BL show, ang unang sagot sa akin ni Jade was, "Teka lang Darwin, busy lang ako. Usap tayo bukas." I think he was in class dahil nagtuturo si Jade. He also teaches film. So, and then eventually when we got to talking, sabi niya, "Dar, kung magustuhan ko yung material, I'll direct it. Kung bagay sa akin or gusto ko yung material, I'll direct it. Pero kung hindi bagay sa akin, I will help you find a director who can do it." But in my mind, sabi ko, hindi po pwedeng hindi si Jade. So that's why we assembled the team that Jade loved and that Jade respected to make sure that he would come on board. And so far, we're very, very happy. Alam mo, I keep telling people, we're a small company. But for the show to be as well received as it is, and for it to have that kind of viewership and that following, we don't have a big production house backing us up. We have no big conglomerates or telco backers. We don't have stars na established na celebrities. Almost all of my cast would be really fresh faces. Save for a handful that have theater experience and that have been maybe in show business for a few years. Pero wala talagang superstars or celebrities. So for that to be for the show to have the kind of response, I think largely is the result of the genius of Jade Castro. I have Jade to thank for this. This is his vision. I told him I just really wanted to make people happy. Even the name Boys Lockdown came from him. Actually, sa kanya galing yung name. So yon. So, and yes, I am a big fan of LSS. I'm a big fan of Endo. I'm a big fan of Remington. I'm a big fan of ang pagdadalaga ni Maximo Oliveros. Kaya nga, we produced it for the stage. So yon. Yon. Aloy, go.
Yeah, I'm currently on Twitter. Tapos, I'm in Rescue PH hashtag. So, mostly rescues needed are really in Marikina area. So for people who are in Marikina, could also send us if you need help in contacting emergency hotlines. Let us know. Send us a message, and we'll do to whatever extent.
Yeah. So yan. So teka, I'm trying to read the comments naman. Yan, ticket to teka lang. I'm trying to read the ano. So yes, support the theater actors. Yes. Actually, Ticket to Me was also helping out Open House. It was the fundraising initiative for displaced theater workers. We helped Lockdown Cinema Club, the fundraiser for displaced film workers. So those are ongoing programs. My understanding is that they're still ongoing. So if you want, those are also really good groups and coalitions that help particular sectors terribly affected by the crisis. So you can ano. So okay. Yes. So may mga questions pa ba kayo for Kaloy? So can you?
There's this comment, Ticket to Me, please release a behind the scenes. I could already tell it would be fun to watch since the cast and staffs are so close to everyone.
So
you would, right?
But yes, not we have behind the scenes. Wala pang schedule. But yes, we are making a behind the scenes video. Maraming makulit. There are a lot of funny makulit scenes, lalo na them. So the cast kasi I keep saying this in interviews. And I keep saying this whenever we have an opportunity to talk to people. They are really friends they're friends in real life. So
surprising.
As interaction. Diba, hindi naman natin mahuhulaan mo bang magkaganon, Kaloy, when we cast?
No, like, I thought I would just be working with you guys for a while, for particularly for this project. And then that's it. Like right after the show, right after we have aired all episodes, we would just be back to being not really strangers, but being acquaintances, not really friends at all. Kasi you would expect people to have their own lives after the show and just mind their back to their usual business. But no, I was completely wrong. The moment we saw each other, well, there were adjustments during the first day. You know, we were trying to. There were barriers, adjustments have to be done, but still, we were able to course it through. And on the next acting workshop, parang um, wala, we really bonded eh. Remember when we had our second workshop when Crystal joined the group? Complete yung cast, you were also there, and we were just having fun during lunch breaks. And then that's where it started. After that, we even had our first TikTok. And then, yeah, we kept on messaging each other even if we didn't have any activity that is voice lockdown related. It really became personal. It wasn't just for the business, it wasn't just for the show, for the marketing, whatsoever. It's actually greater than that. And I was really surprised but really happy, really, really happy.
Actually, kami, Kaloy, nagulat din kami. We were actually surprised. We of course we hoped that you guys would be able to work well together as a cast, but we were actually quite impressed at how close you became, because I don't think kami ni na Jade in the production would have expected it. And in fact, I remember Jade during the shoot telling me that had it not been for the real strict calendar, di ba, we had a very strict schedule, we had very strict protocols because we needed to finish all of the sequences on time and on budget. Kapag nag-extend tayo, we would run out of money and we would not have the people available anymore. You had commitments.
We have protocols, diba? We have protocols to follow that we cannot exceed more than 14 hours. So that's also another, what do you call this, limitation for us.
Yes. So actually, but during one of the parang evenings nung nagpapahinga na kami, Jade was telling me, sayang nga Darwin, if I had more time, he would allow you to play on screen. There was going to be a lot of more unstructured or unscripted interactions.
I can imagine.
Because your dynamic as a cast was so good. Now we would have wanted to capture more of that play. Unfortunately, yun nga, because we were on a tight schedule, on a tight budget, hindi na available yung locations natin after the original booking, yung mga ganon. So that was the main problem.
But despite of that, the scenes worked their magic, di ba? It still did its job. People loved it.
Kaloy, may tanong, how old are you daw? So we have a question here from Uruha Gazette. May I know how old Kaloy is?
What's her name again? I wanna see her. Is it here on comments?
I think. I'm not sure if it's on Twitter or on the Uruha.
Okay, Ruha. Hi to you. I'm Kaloy. In case you're wondering how old I am, I just turned 25 last week. Yeah. Yes. 2 weeks ago. Yes. I'm already 25.
So very young. Very, very young. So there's a question here also for us in the production. Willing po ba kayo na masundan ng ibang series or movie ang future ng Ticket to Me? Yes. We're just to let you know, we're actively working to make sure that a season 2 is green-lighted and gets off the ground. Unfortunately, we are not at that stage yet where we can announce that definitely there's going to be a season 2. What we're looking for now are sponsors and or co-producers. As you can imagine, it's not easy or cheap to produce a show of a quality that is voice lockdown. And we cannot use all of Ticket to Me's resources just on production. So we have other businesses that we need to take care of. We have staff, we have employees, we have other events that we ticket for. So we need to make sure that we sort of allocate the resources properly. This was already a very big bet for us. Fortunately, it seems to be working, and that we're sort of getting the kind of support and the kind of awareness that we would have wanted when we planned to do the project.
And then,
So yeah.
the what do you call this? The views and the response from the fans weren't what you were aren't what you were expecting at all, diba? From them, you had this key targets, but it exceeded it exceeded them. So
Yeah.
that's a
So
big. Hmm.
correct. So yeah, buti tinanong mo, Kaloy. So now I can say it. So just for everyone watching now, when we launched the project, the Ticket to Me team was going to be happy if we got, say, mga around 100,000 views. 100 to 200,000 views per episode. That was the target. If we land somewhere within that vicinity, we would be very happy because alam naman namin our place in the world. Marunong kaming lumugar. We are a small
During
company.
uh,
We had no track record in producing film or producing series. Our background was really in theater, so we were producing theatrical shows. So the fact that it is doing the way, I mean, it's performing the way it's performing now. The last time I checked, over 3 million views combined, mga 3.2, maybe growing. We have a 25 million, over 25 million impressions. So for again a company that's as small as ours, and for alam mo yun, it's just really parang validation that if you do your best, 'di ba? If you honor the audience by doing the best possible show you can, then um, the support will come.
yeah,
So yeah.
and the show is meant to.
Jay was asking, yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, Kaloy, go ahead.
No. What is it?
Si Jay was asking, how much money do you need, Sir Darwin? I have $3. We can produce on
We
$3, Jay.
yes, that would be more than enough. Someone someone actually deleted earlier. What's this?
Who is Kaloy daw? Who
Yeah,
is Kaloy?
someone's asking who's Kaloy. I'm part of the cast of Boys Lockdown, the series.
Mhm.
Being led by our two main actors, which are Alec and Ali King, playing the role of He Calonsod and Chen Chavez. Unfortunately, they can't join us yet because they have much more important things to do as of the moment. But hopefully, if not within the following days, we can do another one and be able to just spread awareness and do special
Oh
announcements
yeah.
to people.
You have a different hair daw kasi, sabi ni Ika.
Oh yeah, I'm just at home. I didn't bother styling my hair for this live. That's why it's like this. I'm wearing a
Yeah,
headband, but it's all
yeah.
pulled
Oh,
back.
there is a question. Should we expect a cameo from Sir Darwin? No. The only reason why I'm showing my face now is because people need help. And Kaloy, I don't want Kaloy to be talking by himself. So because Ali and Alec and the rest of the cast still do not have power at home, so I said I'll join Kaloy just so that he's not too uh, he's not too tired. Also, I
Talking
needed to
about
show my
that.
face because I'm the one operating the back end of the I'm the one operating the back end of
The
the
live.
live stream. So
Yes.
yes. There's another question for you, Kaloy.
Yes,
Gusto
go
mo
ahead.
rin bang magkaroon ng spin-off si Martin Ilagan?
Let's look forward to that. I mean, who doesn't want, right? So I also want a spin for Martin.
Oo.
Martin would need a a greater story for him to tell and be able to share to the world what's his booking all about. And
Yes,
you
correct.
know, literally and figuratively booking, the word booking. Because people
Oo.
have so much stuff to say about Martin's lines in the series. So yung booking, the webinar, what's this webinar is all what is the webinar really a webinar? So yun. So we would want to tell more of Martin's story. So hopefully we could do that, and hopefully in season 2, if we are able to do it very soon. So, but yeah, we're pushing for season 2. We just need the right time, the right resources, enough resources for us to be able to produce it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Actually, without spoiling things, because we are not authorized to announce anything yet, Kaloy has, kumbaga, you will be seeing more of Kaloy. Let's just put it that way. There are other, you would have seen his commercial. For those of you who are fans of Kaloy Tingkungko, you can check out the recent commercial of Chowking. So it's not Kaloy's voice; they dubbed him, but he's there. He's the
Actually, sir, when I asked, it was my voice, pero they did some tweaking, adjusted.
Parang tumaas kasi. I think
they did some adjustments. Kasi for those people who knew me and have watched the TVC, they actually they also wondered kung if it's actually my voice that was used for the TVC. Sabi ko, yes, that's how I delivered it as far as I remember. Pero they did some tweaking. Adjusted.
Okay. Akala ko dinab ka because it sounded higher. Because your speaking voice registers lower than that versus yung...
My voice isn't that deep, but it's not that high as well with what's in the TVC. I think that they really tweaked the my voice. Kasi I was wearing lapel the entire time when we were taping.
Okay. So yeah. Apart from that, so there are other projects in the pipeline for Kaloy.
Yeah.
So not as Martin. We cannot announce it yet. So mapapagalitan kami pare-pareho. But
I have mentioned it to few people who are dear to us, Boys Lockdown family. I haven't shared it to the team, to the
But hindi, baka mapagalitan tayo pare-pareho, Kaloy. We're not, I mean, it should be the production that will announce it, diba?
Yeah, but we expect more of, not really Martin, but Kaloy.
Kaloy, yes.
Yeah.
So, Kaloy, you will see more of Kaloy in the same way that you're going to be seeing a lot of the cast. So there are plans for Ali, there are plans for Alec. Crystal has a TV show, right? So Crystal has a TV show.
Might as well promote it here. Can we?
Yes, of course.
It's airing very soon. I think they've released the teaser recently. That the teleserye is called. It's a soap opera on GMA network. It's a local network for those who are not here from the Philippines. It's a local network here in the Philippines. One of the leading local network. GMA network. It'll be aired there. The title of the show is The Lost Recipe. The Lost Recipe. So Crystal will be playing a significant role. I'm not sure what would it be, but she's playing one of the biggest role in that show. So
and then diba, recently Crystal, she was in Wish Ko Lang. Diba she had a special episode of Wish Ko Lang?
She had for I think last October. Yes, last week of October for Halloween special. So she had an episode for Wish Ko Lang, and she has an upcoming too, Sir Darwin. If you haven't.
Okay. Baka pwedeng i-announce yung bago niya. Okay.
Well, she posted it on her stories na.
Okay. It's announced. Okay.
For Wish Ko Lang, pero she didn't mention any other details, but it's for Wish Ko Lang again.
Yes. Okay. So again, for those of you who have just tuned in, so pasensya na po kayo. I apologize for showing my face. I do not like
Don't apologize, sir.
But
Sir Darwin is a very private person, that's why.
This is an important cause, and I did not want Kaloy to do this alone, especially since our other cast members all do not have power at home and they're busy taking care of their families and their loved ones because of the lack of power and the lack of reliable internet in their houses. So we are going live and we have gone live to raise money for the Kaya Natin movement for good governance and ethical leadership under their program called Bangon, Luzon. They've been raising money ever since the typhoons struck. And in fact, I can personally vouch for these guys. We at Ticket to Me supported them, helped them when the lockdowns were first announced in March in the Philippines. We were able to raise over 18 million pesos for the Kaya Natin movement for PPEs, personal protective equipment, and food packs for frontliners all throughout the country. So I can vouch for the integrity, the honesty of these people. This is the same group that is supported by the Office of the Vice President, Lenny Robredo, as well as many other respected leaders of the country from all sectors, not just government. So if you have money or some funds to spare, donate directly to them. Their bank account details are shown on screen. Our YouTube admins are also regularly posting their website. So if you are coming from abroad and you are not in the Philippines, you will be able to donate to them directly using their PayPal accounts. If you have GCash or other local wallets, you will be able to donate that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kaloy, may tanong ako sa'yo.
Yes.
What was the hardest thing about playing Martin in Boys Lockdown?
Well, playing the character wasn't really hard kasi like what I've mentioned in the previous interviews we had with people, with reactors, international reactors, Kaloy is actually 80% of Martin. So it wasn't really hard for me to give life to the role of Martin kasi basically I'm not outgoing. I'm an extrovert. I'm an extrovert guy and I do make a lot of friends. Kasi personally, I have a lot of circle. So I see so much. I see myself so much in Martin, but for a few parts of Martin, yun yung masasabi kong would be totally different. I wouldn't enumerate those, but basically, going back to the question, what was hard? What was a challenge for me playing the role of Martin? Siguro yung I had to talk to a phone whenever whenever I had to do kasi most of my scenes are just virtual, talking to my friends, Crystal, Key and Dev. So most of the time I was talking to a phone to in front of a camera and without anyone talking behind it. So that was mainly the challenge and siguro yung I would also say the lack of experience of how to actually adjust my take, my how we say it, atake to the scene. Kasi I have no reference at all. I have we did acting workshops, but it would also take your personal experience for you to be able to perfect a scene. Not really perfect, but to do great for a particular scene. So that's what I think was the challenge for me in playing the role of Martin. But the rest, it was just it felt like I was just really playing. I was just really having fun. Kasi people I've worked with for the scenes, I'm too comfortable with them eh. They were actually surprised that I was that talkative whenever we're off cam, we're not rolling. Magugulat si Direk. Ang daldal mo pala, you're that talkative pala. They were actually surprised. Kasi that means I was that comfortable being around them.
Yes.
Because I'm not comfortable with the people I'm with. I wouldn't be that talkative at all. I wouldn't talk about myself. It would be purely work stuff and no personal at all. So, yun.
Yeah. Actually, Kaloy, with your permission, I will tell them the story that I often say when we're just with our friends, right?
Yes, I've mentioned it to to C-Rex, to K-Rex. I've mentioned it to K-Rex. And
yeah.
son, my K-Rex son, my K son.
Okay. Because so this is the story, and this is something that I always tell our friends in the cast and in the crew. Especially after we had completed the show or during the shooting. When Kaloy first auditioned, I found him so in Tagalog we call it antipatico. Alam mo 'yon,
Yes.
parang he was so mayabang. So when we were auditioning him, sabi ko, itong batang to, saksakan ng yabang, as in ganon. But we knew exactly that, well, for one, you registered really well on camera. Pero saksakan ng yabang. So kami ni Carlo. So Carlo is one of our producers. He is also one of my co-founders, one of the owners of Ticket to Me. I was talking to Carlo. Sabi ko, ang yabang naman itong batang to. Ang pogi. So for the non-Tagalog speakers. So this guy is really, really good looking, but he comes across as so arrogant. But it was, I guess, just the way you registered because you were so blunt.
Well,
Kaloy, you were so blunt. You were saying, I'm really so. Unlike other auditionees, who, of course, because I guess I don't know if they were trying, if it was for show or if it was put on, but the others were far more. They tried to be more warm. You were very straightforward. You were very straightforward with us. But that was exactly, I think, what the team saw. And in fact, you know what? After that call, after your audition with the team, when we regrouped, that was when Jade and Denise, they started to rewrite the role because originally Martin was supposed to be super
flamboyant, right?
Flamboyant character. So it changed when we saw you, when we met you, and when when we started to feel that, you know what, Kaloy would be perfect. We didn't think of Martin that way. So we wanted to approach Martin's role from a different perspective. But when we saw you, then he said, oh, you know, we can rewrite this as a bro bitch type of character. And you did it really, really well. So yeah, so we're super happy. And actually, guys, yun nga. So my first impression of Kaloy could not have been farther from the truth. He's one of the nicest people we've had the chance to work with, and they've actually all of them. I've been very, very blessed, and I guess that's also the reason why you feel it as an audience. They see the reason why it gets so light and it's so funny and it's so happy to watch is because even behind the scenes, I guess we really all had a good time making it, diba? Parang it was never painful. Of course, we had challenges. Of course, there were difficulties, but it was never unpleasant. The atmosphere in making this show was never unpleasant.
It's inevitable for us to actually don't have any challenges along the way. Pero the fact that the producers, the production, and the cast are just really nice to work with made it really easy for us to do the scenes and to not have, to not break a sweat at all. And that backstory behind Martin being, how do you call that? Martin's character being revised. I would always bring that with me, even after so many years. Grabe lang yung backstory behind it. I thought, I have mentioned it a few times already. I really thought I was being polite the entire time when we were. I have no intentions of being. Well, I cannot fake that I am not straightforward. So you would really see it in me when we had the interview. But I really thought I was being polite. I was being courteous with you guys, and
you
because of the tension, I'm not really used to auditioning for an acting role, and also I'm seeing people from the industry. So I'm seeing you guys, the producer, the director, the writer you guys were all there. So siguro I was not it's not intimidated, but just really tense that you guys are in front of me talking all at once and versus me by myself. So yun. And what else? Siguro you found me that blunt and straightforward, and siguro I was overly confident when behind the tension in my head because siguro I had too many interviews experience in the past with the corporate world. So maybe I was able to bring it there, I
Yeah.
guess.
But actually, Kaloy, don't get me wrong, ha? You were never impolite. You were never you were never bastos. You were never impolite. But you were just really so straightforward and so
So
blunt, which
did
was
I
very different.
so
Which was
strong?
very different from the other actors. Kaya parang, huh? Tapos, remember we asked you pa. So again, one of the questions was, since this is BL, because at that time we had not yet written the script. So we did not know what Martin would end up doing, right? So one
Yeah.
of the questions that we asked to us, one of the questions, so ito guys, so for those of you watching and who are fans of Kaloy, we asked Kaloy, I remember Jade asking, Kaloy, or Carlo pa we weren't using your Kaloy nickname yet. Diba?
Or
So we were
something
using
else.
Carlo.
Because that time,
Um,
just to share to everyone who's still here, still watching the live, it was my first time using Zoom. Because I'm not familiar with Zoom at all. And I had to use somebody else's Zoom account for me to join. Kasi that time, I didn't have my own Zoom account. So I had to use someone else's. And then when I joined, I don't have any idea how to rename my screen, the name that's being shown on the screen. So the entire time they were
telling you
really calling me
your wrong name.
with somebody else's name. So yeah,
Anyway,
going back, Sir Dogger, you were saying.
so going back, so what the question that we asked Kaloy was, Jade asked Kaloy was, would you be okay with kissing a boy? Because this is a BL series. Because again, at that time, we did not know what Martin would end up doing. We had no clue yet about the story, or we had the episode guide in mind, but no firm direction yet. I remember what you told us. Let me get back to you on that.
You see, guys,
Imagine our shock. Imagine the production's shock. Does this boy know what he is auditioning for? And why will he need to get back to us on that? So, but you know what, Kaloy? Again, it's exactly that kind of bluntness, that kind of straightforwardness that endeared you to us, and that we are still very, very happy. I mean, now I cannot imagine Martin being anyone else. So that's just
I
really some of the
appreciate those.
stories. Yeah.
Tawag dito, with what you said, kasi I don't wanna commit anything that moment that I cannot stood up to. So I would rather say, can I get back to you guys? Kasi I'm not really sure what to tell you. Kasi to tell you guys, I came from. I'm being too personal, but I came from a I'm not really very, but quite conservative family. So I grew up with being like this and like that. You know what I mean? I was just exposed to the real world, what's actually out there when I got out of college, when I get to work with people from different walks of life. So that's where I realized and be open with what's actually there, what's out there. So as a family person as well, I would have to ask for permission, their thoughts before I take a step on something that's out from the usual. So we're not really used to seeing boys love kind of genre here in the Philippines. So that's why I would need to, we need to brief them first and let them know what's gonna happen. They're not really new to this, but at least give them the background and orient them of what's gonna happen for them not to be surprised when I actually do something like that. Because if you asked me during that time, I would say, if solely my decision, I would say yes, like out of like without questions being asked, I'll say yes. But again, I would have to check with my family.
Yes, correct. Okay. So Kaloy, may mga Kaloy, I'll ask you some other questions from the chat, ha? So,
Yes,
some
go
of the
ahead.
questions, I think ako yung makakasagot. So, Ren07 is asking, will we be seeing more scenes with Kaloy in the show? Yes. So, so again, we were finishing production, post-prod of episode 5. It's not yet finished, but Kaloy is there. In episode 5. Crystal is there too. Of course, other characters are there. Next question from Rannan. Kaloy, what other genres would you like to try in the future? Or from Sid, related question, do you have a dream acting role? So genre and dream acting role.
For genre, I would want to do, top of mind, I would want to do something heavy. So basically drama. Because well, I have no background that obviously, but I think I would able to do something like, because I'm really drawn to movies who are under the genre of the drama. So I want heavy scenes in the future, and I think, go if I would go through workshops and a lot of workshops, I think I would able to pull it naman, hopefully, because that's what I really want to do. I'm very intrigued with the genre drama. So next question, my dream role. I haven't thought of it actually. Pero
Dream acting role. Imagine a movie. Kumbaga, if you could play the lead actor in any movie that you love or in a favorite movie, anong klaseng role? Paano si Alec, madalas yan tinatanong, and I know their answers. Ikaw, I've never asked you that, and we've never asked.
I have a very few movies that I really really like, because I'm not a movie person. But I would say,
Ang gusto mo? What would you like?
Wait. That's challenging. I'm thinking.
Sige, tanungin mo na kita. Ano ang favorite, for example, local movie mo? Local. Or foreign?
For local, it's Tanging Yaman.
Okay. Hindi ko alam yung lead character na lalaki doon.
I cannot remember then, but I know the storyline, the plot. It's basically family-oriented. Pero for foreign, kasi it's not, I would want to connect it with drama, pero it's Harry Potter, so fictional.
Apart from Harry Potter.
Makes sense. I don't know if you guys know it's family-oriented Hollywood film. It's called Wonder. Do you know Wonder, Sir Darwin?
Yes.
Julia Roberts. Yeah, I really love that movie. Every time I rewatched it on my hard drive, I never miss crying. Like I always cry every scene that's being shown. So I would say I would like to play a role that's part of Julia Roberts' family. Kasi the lead is actually her son. His son who had to undergo surgeries, stitches when the time he was born because of complications, and now he's being judged by his community, his environment, where he's at, because of how he looks. So
actually,
very appealing, and being part of the family would be really, I think, would be not fun, but would be an achievement for me if I would be able to play a part of a role in that family. So yun, that's what's basically in my mind right now. If I were to play a role, that's it.
Alam mo ako kung ano na-imagine ko for you, Kaloy? What would be a really good role? Feeling ko, hindi ko alam kung napanood mo yung Hello, Love, Goodbye ni Alden at ni...
Well, I have watched it, pero it's not one... Well, naiyak ako doon. Naiyak ako doon sa scene na there were
Feeling ko kaya mong gawin yung Alden Richards role doon na parang medyo bad boy.
naiyak ako doon sa they were on top of this mountain, mountain. Tapos they were just
Yes.
Alden was big spooning Catherine, tapos they were just crying and crying. Kasi the scene that they were in the room, they were discussing about parang the line was ano ba yun? The line was kung mahal mo ko bakit mo ko papiliin? Yun ba yun? Is that
Yes, something like that. Yes, something
it was
like that.
I cried during that scene pero it was overrated, that's why I chose something else. So yung scene dun na lang without uttering any word, they were on top of that mountain. Sobrang serene and heartfelt nung yun. Just the background music and then
Agree. Mas gusto ko yung scenes na hindi sila nagsasalita. Maganda naman, but I like the way they did the scenes na walang words, walang dialogue more than the ones with the dialogue. Oh, yan, may question pa tayo. Creative genius Lyle. Are there any other works in the past that you've done before? Meron ba sila parang and then have you ever done short film or movies? I think for you, Kaloy, puro ads, no? Puro
before lockdown happened, I was able to do TVC and also print ads. Because I recently, I joined my one and only ramp modeling competition last year. That's where it all started. That's how I got into being a public personality. And I had it last December 2019, so it's going a year now. It's turning a year now on December 13, if I'm not wrong. I started this career December 13 because I was still in the corporate world, and then I didn't really have time to do commercials, do ghosties. What we had auditioned for VTR, auditions VTRs. I didn't really have time. That's why during this pandemic, I when I had the chance, I took it na lang and just made the most out of it. So basically, I'm just really new to the industry.
Yan. So, eto, Kaloy, what are your plans for the future? For, I guess, maybe more importantly for the fans in terms of acting or your life in entertainment or in modeling or in the public sphere. Yung mga kaya ng pwede na nating i-announce para wala pa hindi pa pwede yung iba
For now, I would really want to do more. I used to tell this to my co-actors, especially to Crystal and Ali. So we had a separate group. I tell them time to time na, guys, I want to do more acting. Like, parang I want to have the chance to portray a different role again. Ganyan, parang out of blue, I would tell them that. Just so because like I felt passionate with what we did in the series, not just because I see people being happy with what they get from the show and inspiring others as well amidst pandemic of all the hardships we're facing right now. They still get the light out of everything because of our show. So that's the drive for me to do more acting projects that would, make people happy. And my plans, one is to do more acting projects. Hopefully, get the chance to do. And what else? For acting, basically to take different roles that people wouldn't expect from me at all, and hopefully pull it off.
Yeah.
Okay,
Kaloy, what is your height from Michael Valladolid?
My height is 5 feet and 10'11". What's his name?
Michael Valladolid.
Michael, yan. Hi, Michael. My height is 5'11". Sometimes 5'10", but most of the time 5'11".
Okay. Next, from your son, si Jason Carmona.
Yes,
will we be seeing you in a main role in the future?
Oh, I'm sorry. We will. We'll be seeing you
Will
what?
we be seeing you in? Will we be seeing you in a main role or in a lead role? I guess.
Oh well, yeah. Oh, it's in the works, so we cannot spoil much, but something is in the
Yeah.
works, and it's coming really soon. We cannot announce it yet, or we're not in the position to do so. Pero you would,
Wala pa kasing, yeah.
Mhm. Hopefully soon. I think the team, whoever is it or whoever it is, they're already planning to do some announcements on social media.
Correct.
So, yun.
Okay, sige. Oh,
Mhm.
basta as soon as we're able to announce, we will announce, di ba, Kaloy?
Yes, you would, guys.
Okay.
Know, who
Yes.
else?
Okay, if given the chance to work, so from Ren07, if given a chance to work with any other actor or actress, who would you like to work with?
The biggest stars in the industry right now.
Sinong gusto mo? Isa lang. Halimbawa, actress.
Yeah.
Which actress?
Okay, on top of mind. Bakit si Sharon Cuneta yung naisip ko?
Ay, that's not a bad choice.
Yeah.
Diba? So it doesn't have to be, diba, parang it can be a different dynamic. So Sharon Cuneta.
Sharon Cuneta,
Okay.
maybe
Actor.
bastardo niya ako, yung mga ganun.
Okay, sige.
Or heavy role pa din, in line with taking a heavy role.
Okay. Actor. Sinong actor? Who would you like to work with?
Parang, I think it would be in the list of everyone. It's John Lloyd Cruz.
JLC. Okay.
He still
Yes.
does acting, right? He still has projects.
Medyo very, the last one I saw him in was yung parang online na parang experimental film nila ni Bea. Yung parang people thought that they were really talking to each other, but it was actually parang may script pala or something like that, but they really did. So sige. Okay, next question. What
Yes.
from Jay? From Jay.
Yeah. Yes,
Kaloy,
Jay.
what is your eyebrow routine?
I don't have, but I've never have done anything for them. Yeah, treated or anything. I've never went.
Natural lang yan. Okay.
Oh, it's that thick and messy.
Okay. Question. Pepperoni do ba yung favorite pizza mo?
No, it's actually
What's your favorite?
New York. Are you familiar with New York Finest? New York Finest.
Okay.
Pero it's Hawaiian, so I know most of you guys don't like Hawaiian, but because of
I like Hawaiian.
I like Hawaiian too.
Oo.
I don't get why people don't. Some people
Right.
don't like Hawaiian. It's really good.
Okay.
Maybe they're eating salty pizza. Kasi Hawaiian has a different take. It's salty and also sweet. Diba?
Correct. Okay. From Kiko Tolentino Pangs, who is the actor that inspires you, Kaloy? Sino ang pinaka-inspirational na actor for you?
To be honest, before joining Boys Lockdown, I didn't really have anyone in my mind. Kasi I'm not really into acting before. Not until Boys Lockdown came and changed my perspective and how I see acting. But someone who inspires me, an actor who inspires me, I would say in the professional scene, I would say Johnny Depp has done so much projects in different roles throughout the years, and we all know he's that versatile.
Correct. Sayang nga, no, he was asked to resign from the Harry yung
yes
Fantastic Beasts. Yeah. Because of with Amber Heard.
Because of personal issues. But yeah.
Personal things. Yeah. Oh, another question from Kiko Tolentino Pangs. How do you usually prepare for a role?
How do I prepare? Well, the only experience I had was with Boys Lockdown. Let's take in to account na rin yung siguro the TVCs I had kasi there were portion of it that requires acting. Actually, it requires acting. So it's just that compared with a show and a show for TV show, TVC, you had to exaggerate everything and bigger movements. How I prepare for a role is basically, well, do the necessary stuff. I did particularly for Voice Lockdown, I had to do not yoga. What's that? Meditation exercises. Weeks before we started, kasi I was advised by my acting coach that you hired for us, Sir Darwin, si Anante. He advised me to do meditations every morning, at least 10 minutes, for me to be able to tame myself whenever I do nerve-wracking scenes. Well, it's not really nerve-wracking for me because I you know what I mean, kasi I'm not really used to acting and being around a lot of people and do certain stuff that you were asked to do. So, and yun, I was really very conscious of when I'm being watched, being seen by people. So this Nante, our coach, saw it when we were doing the workshop. So for me to tame it down now was to do meditation exercises every morning. I think it helped, and big part of it was being really close with my co-actors. Kasi during the workshop, we weren't that close yet. There were boundaries. We still have to there were gap between everybody, so I wasn't able to be very open with them yet. And then the taping day came, everything just it wept off, and yun, the rest is history.
Rest is okay. To question pa. What's your favorite song? All time. What is your go-to song?
Okay. It's Jesse McCartney's Beautiful Soul. You know Beautiful Soul, Sir Darwin, diba?
Yes.
Tapos ano ba? And also Love Will Keep Us Alive. People are aware of that. For those who have been following me, I have a video on YouTube that I filmed last 2015 when I was still in college.
Correct.
I was singing Love Will Keep Us Alive.
If you want to hear Kaloy sing, he has a singing video on YouTube. Look for it. Okay. Inaaway nila tayo, Kaloy, because we like pineapples on pizza. Pati itong admin ng Ticket to Me is rebelling. May mutiny na nakikita ko on chat because they're attacking us for liking pineapple on pizza. So anyway, next, kung gaganap ka, Kaloy, ng superhero, sino ang superhero na pipiliin mo? So for the non-Tagalog speakers, if you had to play a superhero, which superhero would you play?
Wait, parang I can't think of any, pero siguro I would say superhero talaga. Pwede bang superpower that I would like? Will that work? Superpower. I have no hero in mind Pero if I would pick a hero, maybe
superpower. Superpower na lang. Invisibility, flight, telepathy.
It's psychic. I wanna have a psychic power. So yun. So sino ba psychic? Sino bang psychic?
Professor Xavier. Professor X.
Yeah, Professor X. Telepathy and yung telekinesis. So being able to move stuff through your mind. So yun.
Okay.
That would be so cool. May nagtanong talaga nun?
Meron. Okay, as a Potterhead, which Hogwarts house do you want to be sorted to? If you already do not know. Baka alam mo naman kung anong Hogwarts house.
I already did. I'm part of Ravenclaw. Ravenclaw, the wise ones. If I'm to
Ako,
claim of that. I'm part of the Ravenclaw.
yes.
Of Ravenclaw.
Ako Slytherin through and through.
Slytherin.
Slytherin. And sobra akong Slytherin talaga. So I'm Slytherin. And I'm
I
proud
wouldn't
of it.
expect that
So,
actually from user Darwin. Parang,
no. Idol ko si Snape.
okay, yeah, I'm a fan of Snape too. Yeah.
So idol ko si Severus Snape. So kaya I like that.
Rest in peace to him, but yeah.
Nagtatanong kung nasan si Ali at si Alec and si Crystal. They all do not have power at home. So we were asking them. Unfortunately, we told them to focus on making sure that their homes were safe and that they were conserving precious battery power for their phones and their laptops for emergencies. So because only Kaloy and myself now have power, reliable power at home, we're the only ones who went live currently. So
Yeah.
there. But yes, Jason, they're safe. No, their houses fortunately are not flooded, but some of the areas around, I think, where they live are. I guess it's very. You will not be able to find a place in Metro Manila now that has not been parang sort of indirectly affected by the flooding. Yeah. So we actually extended na Kaloy. So maybe we can have siguro I don't know how much time you have left. So we can
I'm
continue
free the entire day actually. If we have the chance to do it again with the rest of the cast or some of the cast, if they'll be able to join later this day, I would still be able to.
Yes, correct. Okay, sige. So maybe we can spend maybe the last 29 minutes. We can round it off to 2 hours for our we just want to take the time now to promote the reason why I am showing my face and the reason why I disturbed Kaloy and that we're sort of going parang 'di ba parang is really to raise awareness for the fantastic work that many of the NGOs are doing now to help those who have been affected by this terrible series of storms. So we want to help raise awareness for the effort of the Kaya Natin movement for good governance and ethical leadership, supported by the Office of the Vice President Lenny Robredo. Their bank account details are on the ticker that you will see below, and also their PayPal, GCash, and PayMaya links are pinned to this screen. If you have some money that you want to help those who have been terribly affected, go direct to them. No need to donate through YouTube. Go direct so that there won't be any sort of handling on the part of Ticket to Me. But any of the amounts that you've donated so far, we will send directly to Kaya Natin as well. So
there are different means. There are different means to send your donations to Bangon, Luzon, the relief drive of Kaya Natin PH. You can send it through PayPal, Just Pay to, Lazada, GCash, and even PayMaya. So their account number and name is on the ticker on the screen. So you can take note of that. And also announcement for Boys Lockdown for those who have missed it. Actually, I saw a recent tweet that you have your team has sent an updated ticket. They have updated the ticket, the what do you call this? The premiere date. So it's gonna be on November 19th for those who have missed it. It's gonna be Thursday next week. It will be moved a week after because of recent happenings, and it has affected the production of episode 5. We weren't able to push it through for tonight. We have to prioritize the safety of the Ticket to Me's team, those who are behind the post-production. There are more urgent and important things for them to prioritize. So hence the move. We have to move the premiere date. So it's going to be on November 19th. When is the YouTube premiere, sir? It's gonna be moved as well, right?
It will be. Yes, so it will be on the 19th and the 22nd for episode 5.
So basically, we're moving a week. Yeah.
Yes, just a week. The reason for that is we don't want to launch off schedule. So that's also the problem. We want to make sure that we respect the timelines because there are other shows that our fans watch, and we're mindful and we want to be able to respect parang air times so that the audiences don't have to parang compete, diba? The Filipino BL community is growing, yes, but it's still very small compared to traditional forms of entertainment that the Filipino audiences, both here and abroad, are used to enjoying. So what we want to do is we want to really support each other. And since we would not be able to make it to our air date tonight because of yun nga, the lack of power and the unreliable internet, I decided na let's move it by a week. We will air episode 5 on Thursday next week on the Ticket to Me web player and on YouTube on Sunday, November 22. Sige. So ito. A shout out now. May nagpapa-shout out.
Yes, please. Sure.
Yan,
Sure.
sa'yo, Aloy. Wait, let me just, yan. Ito. Kaloy, yan.
Ayan, you can. Are you the one doing
I
this
can
here?
control it eh. Oo,
Yeah.
correct.
Lee BJ, hi, hello. I hope you're safe wherever you are right now. We hope to see you soon, and hope you keep on supporting Voice Lockdown even after the show. Thank you.
Oo, yan. So ito, may tanong dito. If you were to do a historical series or drama, which period would you be interested in? Sa Pilipinas, kuna, kung Philippines, ano gusto mo? Parang mga Lapu-Lapu or mga Spanish era or World War II, martial law?
Series. Siguro yung yung something like General Luna.
Okay, the revolution, okay.
Pero if I would, historical series pala yung question, not
pero that era. So the parang the twilight of the Spanish occupation and the start of the early days of the Republic. May tanong dito, Kaloy. Sinong hindi mo pa pwedeng sagutin.
Sino kaya maka-partner mo sa upcoming episodes? For you to watch out. Yeah.
Correct. Watch the show, please. Watch the show. Your bank account comment. Sorry, nawala yung bank account comment. Wait. I hope someone... Ayan, so Jason says, I hope someone writes a BL set during the martial law era. Oh, you know what? Sorry, dadaldalin ko kayo sandali. I know si Kaloy yung gusto niyong marinig. But I am... that was such a fascinating time for the country. And also an interesting, I think, source. Because if you ask me, and I mean, the show naman has been very clear about its politics. I don't think we've learned the lessons that we should have learned from our history. So I agree. I think this should be an interesting.
And to give light and to relieve what happened there for those who are living in this generation who haven't had much background of martial law, it would be good for someone to write a BL set during that time, during that era.
Correct. And I think it's I guess it would be fertile ground because you have to write the love story in the context of such a time where there was so much complication, diba? There was so much pain, there was so much oppression happening. So
that's the word. Yes.
So may tanong sa akin si Sid, how do you want the BL genre to evolve? I think for it to truly evolve, it should be the audiences that shape it. As producers, I think ang role namin is to sort of find the stories that we enjoy watching. Yun kasi parang I had meron kaming nerdy discussion before ni Direct Jade. So as I've mentioned in the early part of this live stream, Jade has been my friend before he became before we were anything, diba? Before I became a lawyer. Before Jay became a director, we've been friends. And we had this interesting conversation when we were making Boys Lockdown. Na parang the duty of the show is to be honest with itself. And the duty of us as creators, or us, parang ako vicariously through Jade as filmmakers, is just really to be honest with what we want to create. So from a producer's perspective, ang gusto namin, ako, for example, we're at a point in our life where I want to see more and more happy stories na BL. I really like it. And there are fantastic stories there that are complex, that are parang sad, that make you question, di ba, your life or your and I hands off to them, as in sobrang galing. But for me as a producer, I want happy. The reason why I want something happy and light is because I never saw that growing up. So I'm 43. I'm turning 44 this year. So growing up, wala. When I was very, very young, grade school, high school, wala. I don't remember seeing stories like this. By the time I was in college, nagkakaroon na ng konti. But it was often stories that were very different from my own experience. And the stories that I did get to watch, hindi masaya. Parang malungkot or palaging may
the story, the couples are being judged. It's, di ba, parang more of what's really out there. Kung ano yung
correct. So, palaging merong, halimbawa, palaging na-reject ng family or takot na takot about coming out. Don't get me wrong, I was very scared when I was coming out myself. And I was very afraid. I was worried that my family would throw me out. I was worried that my friends would abandon me. But because of exactly those kinds of fears, ang gusto ko iba. I want stories naman na parang like the story of Ki and Chen, na parang kaya the rebellious message of the show has always been normalization. Eh. Diba? Hindi issue that they're, and just to clue you in, ganun yung mga stories ni Jade. So for example, ang pagdadalaga ni Maximo Oliveros. If Maxi was a girl, the story would still work. Pero it would not have been as unusual, diba? It would not have been as groundbreaking. So ganun din, in Boys Lockdown, if Ki and Chen, if one of them were played by a girl, it would be your typical rom-com, kilig, young love story. But because we put two boys there, for us, that was parang I don't know, not sure if we were, I guess that's how we showed courage, or how we wanted to show courage. So yun, in terms of how we want it to evolve, diba? Parang ikaw, Kaloy, how do you want it to evolve? What would you,
something like what you said, because it's still related with the viewers. Kasi we'll listen to our customers, just like how shows should be, producers should be. They would listen with what the viewers want for the show to evolve to. They would get insights from them, and just basically know what they want to be seen in the screen. The representation they needed, the things that we should give light to, and basically that, because making a story that something like Boys Lockdown, that is very light, out from the usual, two boys falling in love with each other, it's not really impossible. So why not create more stories that will just basically make people happy? So that's the bottom line of everything that we do for the show, and how we want to evolve it, is just to make stories that are relatable, and something like Boys Lockdown that is just really happy, and it's not really far-fetched. It can be achieved by most of the people out there, and it's not really wrong to make stories like this. So
yes, correct. Actually, Kaloy, there's a comment here from I'm Nolan Grant na it's a rom-com for the gays. Actually, we'd like to think that it's a rom-com for everyone, In fact, one of the funny things now that I wanted to share with you is that I got a call I got a message from a former student of mine many, many years ago.
Yeah.
So I used to teach. So he messaged me na parang, "Sir, are you the same Darwin Mariano who is the producer of Boys Lockdown?" Sabi ko, "Yes." Why? Why do you ask? And this is a student of mine that I have not been in contact with for decades. I stopped teaching in 2005. So anyway, he goes, sabi niya, "Sir, kasi my girlfriend," so this is a straight boy. "So my girlfriend watches your show. We watch it together and we enjoy it a lot. So pati daw siya kinikilig." So yung girlfriend niya kilig na kilig. And this is a straight guy enjoying it himself. So, which to me was one of the nicest things I've heard, because if we can make these kinds of stories appreciated and enjoyable for everyone, young or old. Actually, Kaloy, alam mo, I was doing the analytics the other day of our show.
Mhm.
60% or 50% of our fans are under 29. So young people, and then across genders, diba? Parang across whatever labels that the Facebook, the YouTube analytics has it. So, but kaya ko pinost tong comment ni Nolan is I just really wanted to make one more point. We deserve our happy endings. That's true. For me kasi, happy endings tend to be viewed as old-fashioned when you're older, but I do not agree with that. For me, happy endings are not fantasy; they are goals. And I actually wrote that in the notes when we premiered. I think what changed is we stopped believing in them kasi. And when you stop believing in something, you stop working for it. Diba? You stop wanting it, you stop working hard to accomplish it for your life. So, and when you do that, when you accept that life is ganito na lang, or that I am not, diba? I'm not going to find love that will, diba? The love that I think I deserve, diba? Parang diba? Quoting perks of being a wallflower. Then you end up with that kind of love lang because you've compromised. But no, I mean, I think happy endings are goals, and we should never ever stop wanting it, working for it, and yun. Basta, watch
Definitely,
Boys
yes.
Lockdown and watch Boys Lockdown and ano. So,
Happy
sige.
endings are it's just possible.
May tanong dito. I cannot find the comment again. Will we be open to a more sensual series than Boys Lockdown? I'm not sure. I mean, I like watching.
Sir Darwin.
I like watching it. I'm not sure if we are the best storytellers for that. I guess that's the other thing. But who knows? I mean, I did not think before the pandemic that I would create a digital series. Now we're making it and we're telling this story. Pero so yon. So sige. May tanong dito. Wait. Let me just so from VV, so from Wahida, what is your takeaway from being in a lockdown for so long? What have you learned, Kaloy?
Ako na the things are everything in the world. What you currently have, they have limitations, and they would end at some point. There would always be limitations, and as long as you have it, while it's there, you have to cherish it and give importance to it. And because you'll never know when it will fade, when it will be gone. So just really give importance to everything that you have and be content of what's on your plate, what's currently on your plate. And aside from that, takeaways from pandemic, that there are things in our country that really needs a lot of work still. That in spite of everything that has happened in our country for the past years, we still need improvement. We still need better leadership from the people who are actually in the position. And like what they usually say on Twitter, on social media, like Filipinos deserve better. And we definitely do. So yun.
Yan. Okay. So, may tanong pa dito. Wait, let me just go back to the questions. Yan, Kaloy, this is for you, I think. Miguel Haranilla asks, if you ever have the chance to be in a BL, well, you are already in a BL series, who would be your partner? Nako, difficult question yan, Kaloy.
Siguro
Kung mahirap Filipino, kahit Thai. Oh, yan.
actually may idea na ako for a Filipino, but I'm not sure if we are physically appealing on the screen, if we will be together, if we will be paired for a BL show. I would say I would pick someone from, because my pool where I picked is actually, my pool was those actors who are already in the BL scene.
Correct.
I would say the one of the sought actors right now would be who's this? Kokoy
De Santos.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I don't have any other reasons, but he's a sought actor right now. So, and I've seen his shows.
Yep.
I mean, his work.
Actually,
really good.
Elijah and Kokoy are fantastic actors. So galing.
Knowing that Elijah is really young then, no? He's young, but he's really...
Yes. So, I mean, for their age, not to be as experienced and to be as parang... as
good actors they are, basically. Yeah.
Galing. Yan. Manfred Evans asks, what is the advocacy you want to convey through your show? Actually, ideally, dapat it's the audience that discovers it for itself. Parang we'd rather show than tell. Pero since Ali and Alec have talked about it a lot, I can also emphasize it because it's genuinely what we wanted to say. The advocacy is normalization. Parang love is love, diba? You should be free to choose who you want to love. You should be free to choose who you want to grow up with, who you want to court, who you want to entertain. And you should be free to grow up parang being who you are. So it's normalization. And I think, but it's couched in a very light and fluffy, very happy show. Pero kaya people, when we watch, for example, we see all of your comments and we watch many of your reactions. Napapansin yun ng mga reactors and then they say na parang hindi talaga issue na for example, 'di ba? Parang in the last episode, si Chen asks Key, do you have a girlfriend? And then after, do you have a boyfriend? Parang it should be that normal. It should be that accepted. It's not supposed to be an issue. Tapos yun nga, hindi sila nagugulat na si Kuya Wills, 'di ba, nung tinatanong si Key before, sabi niya parang di ba may girlfriend ka dati? Tas lalaki yung ka-text niya ngayon, di ba? Pero girlfriend ka dati.
Dicky and Chen scene. Diba?
So si Dicky at si Chen din. So it's we would like to think na it's parang it's implied kasi, it's not discussed. Pero it's in the show. And that's how we want to convey the message. Like, kasi kapag hindi hard sell, my hope as a producer is that it becomes better received. So imagine a generation of young people growing up seeing na parang I'm like that and I can have that for myself, diba? Or that my brother is like that, or my cousin, or that my good friend is like that, and it does not have to be difficult for him. So
it wouldn't feel for those who are from this generation, once they've seen the show, they wouldn't feel like it's different at all. Hearing those words from the actors, from the lines, it wouldn't be different at all. I swear.
Mm-mm. So, okay, may tanong bakit ako yung tinatanong nyo? Si Kaloy ang tanongin nyo, please. What is your favorite Thai BL?
I think it's very obvious.
Hindi, actually, Kaloy, hindi.
Hindi pala obvious. Hindi pala obvious.
The Thai BL that started it all for me was Together. Diba? Kaya may boys lockdown was because Together, so Bright and Win or Sarawat and Tyne really
saved me from very dark places nung start nung ECQ. I would get depressed, I would get anxiety attacks, pero pag nanonood ako nung Together, kinikilig ako, as in talagang sumisigaw ako sa kilig. But they're not my favorite. My favorite of all time, because I discovered it after I had watched Together, is Dark Blue Kiss. So, Tenyu. So, Taitawan and New Titipom. Favorite ko yung Dark Blue Kiss. But the first, so sasagutin ko na rin yung hindi nyo tinanong, but I have a different favorite pilot episode of all of the Thai BLs. Ang favorite pilot ko is the Theory of Love pilot ni Off Jumpol at ni Gan Atapan. I love the pilot. I like Theory of Love, ha? I mean, it's actually a very close second to Dark Blue Kiss. But for some reason, sobra kong mahal na mahal ang Dark Blue Kiss. So there. But those are the ones that I like. So teka, tanungin niyo si Kaloy. Please ask Kaloy. Wait, what else is...
Ako, I've only, for those who would ask, the only one and only Thai BL I've watched, I was able to watch, finish actually, is Together.
Okay. Napanood mo yung Still Together?
Just the first episode. Kasi we're in the middle of taping nun, di ba? When it aired, tama ba?
Yes, correct. Yeah, or patapos na or something like that.
Yeah.
Pero yun, so we have 5 more minutes left. So wait ha. So magtanong na kayo. Please ask Kaloy, maximize the time. Pwedeng Tagalog direct. Sorry po, kaya kami nag-i-English ni Kaloy is because we also have international fans, but we try to switch. So thank you for understanding. Hindi po kami parang si Chen. Just to let you know, for the ones who might be asking, the reason why Alex speaks like that when he plays Chen is because the script is actually written like that.
Like that. I normally tell people who ask me why is he really like that in real life. He is Konyo. Alec is Konyo, but in the series, with the lines, it was I would say it was exaggerated, right, Sir Darwin? Like the script was written that way, so it made we just needed Alex being Konyo self to be able to deliver those lines. Because if someone else would do it, it would sound differently.
Yeah. Actually, alam mo, since we're talking about it now, I want to may kukwento din ako sa kayo, Kaloy.
Yes.
Parang, that's one of the other things that I want the show to sort of maybe portray. Like, kasi, ang dali-dali kasi, alam mo, in mass media, lalo na sa Pilipinas, it's easy to portray the ones who are well off or the ones who are, halimbawa yung may kaya, di ba? People who are well-to-do as necessarily evil. Or as necessarily bad. That's one of the other things that we want to
maybe. I would need to interrupt you now. I'll just have to get my charger. I'm running out of battery.
Sure. Go. Sige. So habang kumukuha ng charger si Kaloy, that's one of the other things that we want people to sort of maybe think about. And that's, I guess, why the show is written the way it is. Your socio-economic status, your personal circumstances. So whether or not you are born into a family like this or a family like that has nothing to do with whether you become a good person. Diba? Being a good person is your choice, is your call. So when mass media or when stories necessarily portray a certain class as this or a certain class as that, we feel that it's not parang, well, at least it's okay. I mean, you can all, of course, you're free to tell those kinds of stories. But one of the things that we wanted to do here in Boys Lockdown is parang your socioeconomic status, diba? Your class in life, whether or not you were born luckier than most, or you had opportunities so that you were able to pull yourself up better than others, that has no bearing on whether or not you're a good person. So I think that's the other thing that we wanted to sort of maybe say. We just don't want, and our creative team will never say that. I mean, the artists, the filmmakers, they never like explaining themselves. Pero ako, producer naman ako. I do not operate under that parang limitation. I can explain. And yun yung isa pang sinasabi ko na parang, I guess, it's important that we make sure that that's the case, 'di ba? Parang whether you are rich, poor, 'di ba? Educated or not, 'di ba? These are things that have no bearing on whether you're a good person. So I think that's important. So yan. Okay, so may question tayo. Okay. What if you do a very daring scene in a future BL? What will you do it? I think I've answered it kanina. I appreciate it. It's something that I mean. So the raunchier, the sexier, and it's not just BL, ha. Because for example, Tharn type kisses are very passionate, di ba? Parang and may mga iba pang Thai BLs that I've seen video clips of, hindi ko pa napapanood na parang grabe, as in grabe yung scenes. But the thing is, I think it's not for me, not because I don't watch it or I don't appreciate it, but I guess the stories that we want to tell and the stories that my team want to tell are more on the romance, the more wholesome kind, the happier, the cuter kind. So yun yung at least that's what we want to keep making. So make
Darwin's production isn't made for that kind of raunchy type of.
I guess also because our market. So yung market din kasi namin, because we started in theater, we have a lot of student fans. And I'm not saying that they don't like that. I mean, I'm sure there are many young people who can appreciate that. I guess it's just really a matter of what we can do well. And this is likely, I think, judging by the early success that we're seeing of Boys Lockdown, that might be what we really want to focus on. May tanong dito, can we do, are we planning to do GL? We want to do more, whether it's BL, GL, film, series. And we hope that, I mean, as soon as the economy recovers or if we get more support for the material, yes, we want to keep making more. Okay. Yan. What is the background of, may tanong dito. Okay. Well, first is a quick question on whether or not we're open to airing it on live TV, on national TV. Yes, of course. In fact, if you remember, for the ones who are old enough, many years ago, GMA Network premiered on primetime My Husband's Lover. So it was so groundbreaking because for me, I don't remember watching any parang primetime soap that featured a gay relationship in the lead roles. So of course there were criticism. I mean, there's a lot of praise about it, but there's also a lot of criticism. Ako, maganda sana if we could start seeing shows that in TV where being gay is not a problem or where being gay is not a threat to the family, diba? Or a threat to the marriage. So that would be really, really groundbreaking, and BL would be a fantastic vehicle for that. It's not up to us. It's up to the network. So sana they watch it. Okay. What is the backstory of Chen's family? Hindi ko alam. We can ask Denise. But all we know is that their mom left, and in the script, their dad is never talked about.
Yeah.
So, but we have to ask our creator. So their mom left. Their dad is not talked about. In the very early script discussions, there was mention of the dad, I think, coming from a very, very wealthy family talaga. Kaya may kaya si Libby at si Chen, even if their mom had left them and the dad is not mentioned at all in the script. Okay. Okay. Kat? Oh, ito. This is an important question. A lot of BL and GL current productions cast young actors with young stories. Will you target an older demographic eventually? I think yun nga, that's the beauty of LGBT film or LGBT content. You span the range. So there are a lot of stories. I think for us in terms of interest or openness, then yes, definitely. I think right now, because I would be completely honest with you guys, because BL is the genre now that is opening doors. Diba? It's a really good way of penetrating the market
and getting audiences. That's how we started. But we want to keep telling stories. So as a platform, as a ticketing platform, and also as a content creator, Ticket to Me wants to continue doing this. In fact, I keep telling my business partners and the team na nag-enjoy talaga kami sa Boys Lockdown. I mean, these guys in Nakaloy have been fantastic to work with. I want to work with them again. As in, kung pwede lang, kung kaya namin mag-shoot next week, mag-shoot na tayo next week. Pero it's not as easy as...
You guys do not know how much we want to do another show. But yeah, we have we need time to acquire those acquire resources. It's not easy.
Correct. Actually, kasi mahirap siya eh. That's one of the reasons why we had to hindi na available yung cast. Hindi na available yung location. Our crew had other projects that they were working on. So it's not as easy to do as what we'd like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sige. Okay. So we're actually 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes ahead. So Kaloy, do you have any last message for the team?
Okay.
And then
siguro I'll run through lang what we have, what this live is all about, and then I'll promote the show and just thank everyone. So that's how I would go through it. Again, for those who have joined, thank you so much for being here with us, staying with over 2 hours, just talking about stuff, Boys Lockdown stuff, and just spreading awareness for everybody that's been affected by the calamity. We're actually supporting Kaya Natin PH's drive, which is Bangon, Luzon. We're trying to help the typhoon victims in Luzon that's been greatly affected by Typhoon Ulysses. So this drive is actually supported by our VP Lenny Robredo. You can see here in the ticker on our screen right now the account name and account number where you can send donations if you have any money to spare and just feeling generous and just want to share your blessings to others. So it's there. There are different ways for you to send your donations. I will just retweet it on Twitter. You'll see it there. I won't enumerate everything, but yeah, that's it. And then for Boys Lockdown, for those who have missed, we have moved the advanced screening premiere for it. Instead of tonight, we'll have it moved next week, Thursday, same day, for some reasons, and on YouTube on November 22, so Sunday next week.
Yes.
But, we hope we can still do another one today, if not today, in the following days with the other cast, just to really disseminate important information for everyone that's related to the calamity and typhoon. And we hope you can really donate even whatever amount that you have in your pocket right now, just for us to be able to help these people. They need us, and we have the power and the audience to do that. So we're making the most out of it, and we really hope you can help us. So yun, I thank everybody. Again, thank you everybody, and thank you, Sir Darwin, for initiating this. We wouldn't be able to start this today if not because of thank you.
Yes. Okay. So salamat Kaloy, no? Sorry ginulat kita. I knew you were resting. Hindi ka pa nga nakapag-lunch. Guys, Kaloy was, because yun nga, sila yung may kuryente. I told the cast, sabi ko, guys, sino bang pwede? And si Kaloy was one of the few that had reliable internet access. So he really gladly agreed to do this live for the Kaya Natin Bangon Luzon effort. Thank you, guys. On behalf of the Boys Lockdown team and the Ticket to Me team, we thank you for all of this love, all of the support. Right now, the love and support is best directed at those who have been terribly affected by this string of terrible typhoons. So that hit Bicol, Camarines Sur, Albay, Catanduanes, so many other parts of Quezon, ngayon Metro Manila. So if you have the resources, it doesn't have to be money. If you have time that you can volunteer, if you can send food, if you know of rubber boats, marami pang stranded, let's please
help, do what we can. Use the unified hashtags. Don't use it for fun stuff.
For
Use
nonsense.
it for
Yeah.
rescue. Use it for relief. You know of it. Spread correct information, verified information. And then what we'll do, I guess, as a last message is we will try to assemble the other members of the cast. So as soon as we have confirmation that they have power back on, we will go live again so that you can talk to them and ask them questions. They're usually game, yun nga, baka hindi lang nakatulog because of the power interruptions. But as soon as we have them, we will go live again on the Ticket to Me YouTube channel so that we can talk to all of you. You can ask them questions, but most importantly, so that we can draw attention to those who are helping those terribly affected by the storms. So once again, don't forget the Bangon Luzon program of the Kaya Natin Movement for Ethical Leadership and Good Governance. Their bank account details are on this screen. Maraming salamat po. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Stay safe, everyone, and covered. Thank you.
Bye-bye.